Hey everybody, it's Andy here, aka Montolio, and we are back for a vintage challenge today. And we're on the precipice of an RCQ tomorrow, which is a pretty big tournament on Magic Online, high stakes. And I did not get to play in the last showcase, so I'm pretty excited to play in the RCQ tomorrow. And yeah, it's been a little while since I've done some videos. Unfortunately, I lost my recording software for several months when my computer crashed and burned. A little bit of back and forth with the software provider with reference to getting my key again for the permanent license I own for it. And that said, we are back, and I'm looking forward to doing some battling today. And we're going to be playing some blue-black Lurrus today. And for those of you that follow me know I typically like this deck. This is what I played at Eternal Weekend, and I've had a substantial amount of success with it online. And we're going to take it in today. I'm really struggling whether I want to play blue-black Lurrus. Do I want to play Esper Lurrus? It goes back to that age-old story. It's the shaky three-color mana base and Swords to Plowshares versus the very stable mana base of the blue-black version, but you lose Swords to Plowshares and you're on Fatal Pushes, which is obviously not optimal. And there's some reasons for that. And we're going to go through that in just a minute. So let's take a look at this list and look at some of the flex slots here and how we're approaching it today. So first and foremost, my creature base. Wanshan Tong, the Librarian, is getting a nod over Snapcaster Mage today. I'm going to try it out. It's the double blue is obviously not as exciting as the one blue that Snapcaster requires. There is a tax here, especially if I'm going for basics. But one of the things that I like about Wan Shi Tong is, outside of the fact that it draws me cards and grows, is I like that it has evasion. And against Mono White Initiative, despite it could be a challenge to get Wan Shi Tong going, it is one of the few ways that I'm able to fly in over top of what my opponent is doing and take the initiative from them. Sometimes with Psychic Frog, the next one that has evasion in our deck, if there is a Clarion Conqueror in play, you're just not able to do it. And Wanshan Shitong can get bigger than the Clarion Conqueror. So I'm going to give it a slight nod based on that. And I'm not sure whether that is a reasonable rationale or not. I mean, Snapcaster Mage into a Time Walk with this deck can be deadly. Earn Ancestral Recall or Fatal Push or whatever be it, but we're going to try it out today. I may switch back to the Snapcaster tomorrow, possibly. Mindbreak Trap, this is a card that I've had anywhere from 0 to 2 in my main deck, and I really like the card. I just think it's such a cheeky thing that's going to keep your opponent honest. And it's the same as the Daze, right? When you get your opponent with the Daze, they will always have it on their mind. And it's same with the Mindbreak Trap. And with all of the Raker running around and Mono White Initiative, sometimes you just get people with Mindbreak Trap. I mean, there's all sorts of combo decks running around. PO, you've got the Gis Lurrus deck, and sometimes a Mindbreak Trap can just win you the game. So I am going to audible to try it out again today and see. I've moved back up to the 4th Fatal Push in the main. I really I mean, there's a lot of creature decks running around for sure. Mono White Initiative, we have mirrors that we're dealing with, and the extra Fatal Push I think could be pretty good. It's the type of world we're living in where creature removal is just so important. And I've moved the Momentum Breaker into the sideboard for the cheaper version of the Fatal Push. And we'll get to the sideboard in a minute. And so Seal of Removal is my other one. And Seal Removal is a card that I really like. And I know a lot of blue-black players don't subscribe to it. And fair enough. I mean, there's lots of reasons not to run a card like this. But, I mean, it pitches, which is important. And one of the things I like about it is it's basically a tempo play. And if you get it recurring with Lurrus, you just keep sending the creature back, whatever the offending creature is, back into the nether. And it shores up part of the problem that you have with blue-black versus the Esper version with Swords to Plowshares. in that it removes troublesome creatures like hollow ones, where we don't have the ability to kill those with Fatal Push or Long Goodbyes. It can get rid of put an Atraxa back in the hand. It can put a Argentum Masticore back in the hand. White Initiative, whatever it may be, it comes in very cheap. And it just tempos them out. It gives us the time to try and be able to take control of the game. Another side point is, and I actually wanted to run 2 of these seals today, or this weekend, specifically for the Unable to Scream tech that's been around for the last couple of months. Unable to Scream is really good against our deck. It basically turns your powerful creature into a dummy that just sits there and doesn't do anything. And when you're playing against a deck like Doomsday, which is not necessarily focused on killing your creatures, it's just trying to nullify the damage, and they can take over the long game. Long Goodbye is just really good. And Seal of Removal is a good foil to that, because we can put our creature back in our hand and then redeploy it, and it puts our opponent in a difficult position. And I like that. And for all the reasons I talked about with Seal in general, I mean, it does pitch, and putting our creatures back in our hand is really powerful, in addition to being able to mess with their creatures, like, the Lurrus Doomsday builds that are going around. So unfortunately, I couldn't fit it today, and I will talk about that more in a minute as to why I couldn't fit it. I mean, it's always a back and forth battle as to what we can all fit in our deck. Of course, I am opting to run the Nihil Spellbomb. Look, there's nothing wrong with running main deck graveyard removal, and I just think with Dredge running around, the margins are so thin on this deck that it's just a reasonable card to have in your main deck. It draws you a card if you set it up properly. It helps against things like the Gift Strains deck, the Breach decks, and yeah. Anyways, it's good in the mirrors, things like that. So we're going to keep that in there. I've opted to split Spell Pierce, one Fluster, 2 Spell Pierce. I do struggle against White Initiative. It is a slight nod towards running the 3rd Pierce, and I don't think I'm going to make the change. There still is a lot of combo, and sometimes Flusterstorm, just pushing through your key spell or stopping a key spell, is pretty important. Like, people can play around Spell Pierce. It's a lot harder to play around Flusterstorm. So I opt for the Spell Pierce, having 2 of them. We're going to go with 1 Fluster. And I believe that is pretty much it for anything that is a shift for me. I haven't run 4 Fatal Pushes in quite a while, but I'm expecting with this weekend that there's going to be a substantial amount of mirrors running around too, and I just want to be able to have answers there. So let's move into the sideboard. So Snuff Out was the big one for me. I really wanted to have the Seal of Removal, another one in the sideboard, for the reasons I just explained. But one of the true deficiencies of this deck is it's really hard to beat White Initiative. And yep, maybe 50% of the time I can get White Initiative, I beat it. But it's just, the margins are so thin against that deck. And I just hate to admit it, I have to address it directly. And Snuff Out is a very linear card in this metagame. It doesn't do a ton. Maybe if people are back running Murktide Regents and things like that, like, I get a little bit more utility out of it. But we're going to respect White Initiative, and I want the cheap removal, free removal, to be able to combat it. And sometimes even that's not enough, but that's what we're running it for, and we're going to run it over the Seal of Removal. And come tomorrow, we'll see how it goes. I may shift back to the Seal of Removal. We'll see how it goes. And really just a matter of how much White Initiative there's going to be. And when you get into things like big stake tournaments, people always come in, especially on a Sunday where they're chilling out and they're double, triple queuing. White Initiative is an easy deck to play. So we're going to be prepared for that. And I got the Momentum Breaker. I have typically been running this in the main, but I have moved it into the sideboard, as I explained earlier. I've just opted. Long Goodbyes, very important, being able to uncount. It's more for mirrors, being able to get a Lurrus, a Key Lurrus, or a Key Psychic Frog, something like that, that just can't be countered. It goes without saying, the majority of the other spells are just very balanced. We've got a couple Null Rods. I have been one of the champions on this deck of running it main deck. It's interesting to see other people are shifting back to that right now, which is not an unreasonable thing to do given what the metagame is like. But I'm going to cheat a little bit and keep them in my boards. Consigns. I've got 3 Grafdigger's Cage I think it's arguable that you could move up to 4. There is definitely a rise in Oath of Druids again, and uh, outside of the dredge strategy, I think that it's pretty reasonable to be addressing Oath as well. Funny enough, speaking of Oath, I would love to be able to put a Caracas in my deck as well, despite it doesn't really cast anything in my deck. It would be a colorless mana for me. Just being able to bounce back and Atraxa is just so big, and uh, not be able to do it. Just having uncounterable removal like that is just so strong, but it's just something I thought of. I'm like, wouldn't that be good right now? But anyways, yeah, the rest of it is just I absolutely respect Dredge, and I like the free Tormad's Crypt. Sometimes it's just you get your Lurrus into play and you're short that mana. It happens all the time, and just having the free graveyard removal is really powerful, and I've opted to have the second spell bomb in the deck. So we've got, I mean, it's not the most robust dredge sideboard, but it's decent enough in that we've got 5 hard spells. We've got the Tabernacle and the main Nihil spell bomb, and in addition with all our waste and strips. So hopefully it's going to be good enough. But that's what we're going to run today, guys. A little bit of a long-winded deck tech. Wanted to explain some rationales behind some of the decisions I'm making and why. And yeah, hopefully we can get there. But listen, as always, I do appreciate you hanging out. Please do like, comment, subscribe, and we're going to see you in round 1. Hey everybody, here we are round 1. Sorry about the delay here. We lost 5 minutes. I had an opponent that I was playing in a league who burned their entire clock, and I had 17 minutes left on my clock, and I absolutely refused to concede to them. I obviously take the challenge a lot more serious than I do a random league, but when someone's going to waste my time like that, I'm definitely going to play it out. So I believe my opponent is very likely to be on Dredge. I think this hand is reasonable. I wish this was obviously a Force of Will. We did win the die roll, which is important, so I am going to keep this. There are certain games where we can definitely find our way back in with this type of a hand, despite it is not likely. And of course, my opponent mulliganing very aggressively is one of the ways we get back in. Excuse me. Us being on the play here is key. Allows me to lead out with an Underground Sea. Yeah, my opponent was playing Jewel and ended up chewing up like, I don't know, 18 minutes, 19 minutes in their first game. I could tell they were a newer player, but they were just durdling around forever and wasted their entire clock, and there was very few time they lost I don't know, a medium length game in game 2. Like we went like 4 or 5 minutes, and they left themselves like 2 minutes max in the last game, and they had me beat 100%. There was no winning that game, but they timed out at the expense of us burning almost 5 minutes on our clock here. But that's okay. My opponent is taking their time here too. So what do we want? We would love a black Mox, blue Mox. Black Lotus would probably be better. No dredgers? No dredgers. Spell Pierce, Flusterstorm, Force of Will, Mox, Lotus. Not optimal, guys, if they have the Noxious here, but there's not much we can do about that either way. They did not have it, which is great. No second bazaar either. Well, that's very lucky for us if that's the case. That is helpful. Unfortunately, it's the off-colored mocks. Blue or black would have expedited this significantly for us, but it is what it is. I will flash the Bowmaster now, just in case. Great. I mean, we definitely are casting a frog here, right? The other option is that I can, because of Noxious Revival, it is possible that I can flash the Bowmaster in and hold up Force of Negation. I think, believe it or not, I actually like that plan better. The frog closes things quicker, and I do realize they're moving towards discard here. Actually, maybe it's just not necessary. Maybe I just do need to try and kill my opponent here. They are moving closer towards manual discard, which is more likely than them finding a Noxious Revival off the top. One's in the yard already. They find Bazaar. Yeah, it's, I guess, pretty good to sit back on the frog or the Bowmaster, but frog draws me cards. It's an interesting scenario here. I've changed my mind here. Or have I? No. I think I have changed my mind. I am going to get the frog out. I believe it kills faster. And it is unfortunate if they find the Bazaar. But it's not likely. As I said, statistically, it's not that likely. And I think frog gives us our best. Like, do we need to be playing cautious here? I guess is the question I'm asking myself. Time walk would have been really nice there. Okay. Very lucky game one win for us. So all of these are coming in. Mindbreak Trap is pretty poor. I feel like Force of Negation is definitely not at its best in this matchup. Fatal Push can be okay, but it's typically not great. We probably could cut a swamp here too. Let's see here. Do we want Snuff Out? Snuff Out is fairly poor. It does stop hollow ones. Currently, I have a Seal of Removal to help with hollow ones, which is not very much. Perhaps we want the Momentum Breaker. Momentum Breaker can give us critical life as well when we're facing down Creeping Chills, which is actually a thing. Two more cards to go back in here. Consign is not irrelevant because it can stop Icarid triggers. It pitches and it stops hollow ones, but usually we want to be able to answer a hollow one. On turn one. Not always, but they're usually dredging from there. So it's probably pretty poor on the draw. I think I'll bring in this, and I think I'll just bring in a Miser Force of Negation. Force of Negation is typically very poor, but it is possible to hardcast it. Maybe just on the draw, it's just way too weak. On the play, I think that there could be some merit there, like in the situation we were in last game, where we actually had the ability to hardcast that if we had things on lockdown. Let's bring in a consign. Might be critical in buying us just enough time. Well, not really good enough, I don't think, here. No, we're going to have to mulligan here, unfortunately. They have kept 7. So this hand has protection in it and an ancestral to go and look for my hate. No, I don't know. No, we have to mulligan. This one I will keep. Okay. Look, this is not optimal, but this is what happens when you play against Dredge. You have to be, especially when you're on the draw, you just have to be aggressive. Been looking for your hate. We never did actually find any hate, but we went down to 5, and this is a reasonable 5, despite it is, once again, unlikely to be enough to get there. You could mulligan to something like Grafdigger's Cage, but the problem with that line is Grief can just take it out of your hand. If you're wondering what that noise in the background is me rolling poker chips. Okay. That was not really a great dredge for them. So there it is. That is the Grief. Let's see if we can fade a hollow one here. I mean, I'd love to get Grafdigger's Cage going here. I just don't think that's enough. We just have to really hope they don't have a Noxious Revival or a second Bazaar. We need a number of things to go right here for us. They missed on Dredgers. Okay. So Urza's Saga is my inclination here. The problem with doing that is that Urza's Saga can be force of vigored. So I think I'm going to opt to play a little bit safer here. They didn't have the Noxious or the Bizarre last time. So let's hope that that's the case here. They do not have a Dredger, so we got a chance. Our Bowmaster here could really help us out. We're going to end up having to put ourselves on a 2-turn clock this way. I would keep a Force of Will. I don't think Bobble's what I'm looking for here. So this does make the Urza Saga line better. And so I am going to play it here. And in their upkeep, I will flash Bowmaster. They might have a Force of Will here. They do. So this will buy us some time here, hopefully. Hopefully this can get us to Lurrus. I don't think I buy Lurrus here. I think I just keep blocking with the... I don't know. Maybe I block with the Bowmaster here? Because next turn, I can... Well, I can't actually cast Lurrus unless I go for... colored mana to be able to cast it. I do have a Mishra's Bauble here that's going to allow us to get things going. Versus Graveyard Hate. Graveyard Hate is not looking great right now. It's Noxious Revival specifically that can cause us problems. So we probably can avoid Graveyard Hate. So perhaps I do just bring Lurrus to hand here and pray they don't have a Grief. That said, if I block with the Bowmaster, I will have 2 Urza Saga tokens that are able to tangle with this thing. But recurring Bowmasters is pretty strong. I think I'm going to bring back Lurrus here and just hope. Okay, let's draw. I'm not making a token here. I think I just have to get Black Lotus. Make it black, right? And I've got the Spell Pierce to be able to protect it. Okay, it is in. Do I want the Black Lotus here? Or do I just want to go for a Bowmaster? Bowmaster is strong. It allows me to hold Pierce up. I do like that. I think so. And we can try to take over the game from here. Now they are moving up to 5. I'm just very happy to just keep buying time. I know you're saying, well, why not just jump with the Bowmaster and put the Bowmaster in the yard? Because I want to draw cards. And I get to gain the life back here, which is not insignificant. Let's take a peek at myself, see if it's something I want to draw. Yeah, Tabernacle's pretty strong here. I do want to draw that one. I think anyways. We might need some help here. I'm not crazy about the manual discard here. Yeah. Because of that attack, I suspected that they did have the Bazaar here. So it's a little unfortunate. They found it. Wondering if I fetch here. I think I do. Because I'm going to need my mana here. And I can do this during my turn. I don't think it matters much. They did find Troll. Cage would be nice. Or Nihil Spellbomb Tormods. Okay, I don't mind that. I mean, I think we want Bowmaster, right? This is going to be gone. Or do I want to draw cards? First things first, I'm going to attack. The life gain really matters here. Now, I could also play my Psychic Frog here. So let's play this. I have to take his Bazaar. Maybe I can just bobble here and continue to draw cards. So first things first, let's get the Tabernacle in. I do think I probably want the Psychic Frog. Going to Wasteland. Hope that they did not find another Bazaar, a third Bazaar. So we have Spell Pierce up here, which should be enough. I think it's just got to be Bobble. Now they are going to have an Icarid coming in. Noxious Revival, there it is. Okay. Okay, so they lose their Hollow one here. So they are going to, let's see what they end up doing. They're going to dredge the, so they got a Narcomoeba, which is decent. I will be able to perhaps kill that with Bowmaster, especially if I use a Lotus. Next turn, we'll open my mana back up. Okay, so I am going to pay for both of these. I think I'm going to pay the 4 life here. I have Bowman here in the back end. I understand I could be pitching cards here, but I do want to be cautious. I think the Spell Pierce is going to have some decent relevance here. Perhaps unnecessary. Okay. So they are going to stop me here. I guess I probably am just going to play the Bowmaster. And I will chump block a couple times with the Icarids if they choose to do that, and that's okay. Great draw. Okay, here we go. We do have to watch our time here a little bit. I am getting punished for my 5 minutes that I lost in the league I was playing, and I'm playing quite pensively here, so obviously lots of time still, but we just something to take note of. Okay. Okay, guys, here we are in round 2. Unfortunately, we did not win the die roll. And what does this hand do for me? I mean, I've got the Mindbreak Trap, which could be really decent here. I've got Fatal Push as removal for an actual Raker next turn, plus a Bowmaster. I think I'm going to gamble on this hand, and perhaps the ability to replenish in a couple turns on Treasure Cruise. It's not optimal. We really need our Mindbreak Trap to be solid here.
Sí, el arena es una mejor opción que yo, ¿eh?
One. Pretty bad for me. All right. Wanchon. So I can kill Tezzeret right now, which I am going to do, which will leave me 3 mana for my Wanchon. I do think I need to make this play. Glaring Fleshraker. So this is going to give them 3 mana here. I'm not thrilled about this, but I don't really want to burn my Black Lotus to just Fatal Push here. I will be able to set that up next turn, perhaps. Yeah, they've had a pretty good turn here, like 2 turns so far. I'm hoping they don't do too much more here, if anything. Okay, there's one top. They're going to start digging for the other top. And of course, I most definitely will Fatal Push if they find a second top, put it on the stack. It's in. And of course, my Bowmaster is dealing damage too if they start flipping tops. That is something to note. I can Treasure Cruise next turn as well. I'm probably not going to do that, but I think I Wanchon. for 2. And hopefully I find a land off that one card I draw, like a black source, or the ability to find a black source. And then that will allow me to Fatal Push and hold up Spell Pierce. Yeah. Getting our chip damage in. So easily playing around my Spell Pierce here. Unfortunately, just is what it is. The ring is in. Mm-hmm. Oh, I should have put it at their Eldrazi spawn. What was I doing? Oops. That was pretty sloppy, wasn't it? I was thinking because they had the ring coverage there that wasn't going to have to do that. So this sets up an Undercity Sewers here, which is pretty good. Does another fetch land help me here? What the fetch land does is sets up a treasure cruise. It is quite helpful. So I think I'm going to do that. That was really sloppy on my part. I hope that doesn't come back to haunt me. But these things happen in Magic. Sometimes we do silly things, and it's incredible how badly people can play at times. It just happens to all of us, and we just try and mitigate that as much as we're able. So I think what we're really looking for here is counter magic, another Bowmaster. I'm going to use the full amount. So this is good next turn. I guess what could I do here? This would be 9. Well, they have ring protection, so I can't hit them. I'm just going to have to hold on and pray that nothing happens here this turn. And next turn we can twist them out. perhaps. Okay, here you go. It's going to be hard to hang on, but let's see what they do. Yeah, that's a good one. So ring protection again. This time, I most definitely am going after the tokens here. Doesn't pump our guy up, I acknowledge that. Ring protection again. Okay, they're turning our bowmaster on. I cannot target them. I could wasteland them here. They do have a lot of mana with that workshop. I could hardcast Lore Revealed, continuing to look for forces. That would be 3 cards drawn. I could wasteland, pull Lurrus to hand. Lurrus is not really helping me much here. They're going to have 7 cards next turn. I think I like just trying to inhibit their mana here to the best of my ability. I don't think time twisting is really what I want to do. I suppose there was no reason not to pull Lurrus there. That was a little bit sloppy. Yep, another ring, okay. I keep getting protection. Yep. I am going to do it now. Because next turn I'm planning on casting Lore Revealed. Okay, good. Oh, nice. Okay. Get my Bowmaster out of there. That does work. Raker. I cannot stop the Raker. Okay, it's in. Yep, we could just die here. This is the critical turn. I mean, that Gates of Madara was really strong there. I kind of feel like, as much as I'm wanting to stop these plays, I just don't really have the luxury of doing it. So I have to definitely try and stop this one. Not thrilled about it, but Daze is not a very strong card here. So they do have the kill here. This will trigger Wan Shanti, though. And if I find a force or a misstep, it's pretty good. We did not. So they did get there. We'll F6 now. I'm just going to make my opponent use up some clock here to try and give myself a little bit of an advantage. Because our clocks are very close right now. I'll take even a minute advantage is significant here, but yep. Talon Gates of Madara, folks. Really strong card. I was feeling reasonably solid there until that came in. Okay, we're able to buy ourselves a couple minutes here. I think my opponent is also double queued. They're just trying to get to sideboard here. The good news is we get quite a bit better post-board against Raker. All right. All right. Oops, this is the wrong match. This is the match that I was playing before my first round started, where my opponent was down to 7 seconds. We had 16 seconds left, and yeah, we were just tempoing them out. We were dead, but they ran out of time. Okay. So we definitely want our consigns. We definitely want our null rods. We don't need that. I think we can cut a swamp here. And Fatal Push is okay. The problem with Fatal Push is it can be set up to stop Raker, but it does not stop Argentum Masticores and Worm Coils. Flusterstorm looking pretty bad here. We like Pierce. Daze typically is not great in this type of environment, but perhaps we can utilize it. Nor is Wanshan Tea. Wanshan Tea is only really good against Tezzeret itself, and we are not planning on letting Tezzerets resolve. I could see a Snuff Out coming in here. Target non-black creature. So we get to put another creature in play here. Or another card, excuse me. Maybe we can just put in another Fatal Push. So we have answers to Raker. Do we try this, guys? All right. Huh. I mean, I guess we have a negation here. Okay, I'll keep it. A little bit awkward that we don't have another blue card to pitch, but yeah. Oof. Yep. Sensei's Top. How much do I care about Sensei's Top? I probably care. Horrible hole. That's pretty savage, actually. All right. Well, let's hope. Land. Oh, thank goodness, guys. That was looking pretty tentative there, wasn't it? Yeah, I mean, not much I can do about it. So they're a little bit low on resources here. We're just going to start getting our beatdown going. Then dismember. If they're low on resources, I could see them sacking this Vexing Bauble here. So I'm gonna be a little bit coy with my Bullmasters here. Because they just played a Mana Vault and passed. Like, they have a substantial amount of mana here. Oof, that's a really nice one. Gonna attack here. Yeah, they do have a dismember. Okay. Oh. So that was one reason to Ancestral first. So this puts on an additional 3 damage this turn, and I have the negation to pitch the Ancestral if need be. So yes, it. I mean, they still could have played around it had I been proactive with my Ancestral before I went into attacks. They may have been. I don't know. Yeah, I think this is fine. Those Ancient Tombs are going to be costly, and if they have to flip the top, it deals them an extra damage, and they essentially have to win now. Okay. Okay. Let's see how we do here, guys. I'm going to ship this one back. They kept. We're going to mull. Yep. So Demonic Tutor could end up setting up a Null Rod. Frog is a card that can advance my game plan. Bullmasters is integral. I feel like it needs to be one of Frog or Treasure Cruise to go. It's going to take me a number of turns to get to Treasure Cruise. So I guess our first game plan here is we need to find a second land. Ooh, that's not good for me. Jeez. I'm going to have to be proactive here. I'm not thrilled about this at all. Okay. Black Lotus. Okay. I'm not really wanting to have to contest with these saga tokens. I hope they miss a land here. I'm going to pay the life because I want to use a land, my Undercity Sewers. We need a Wastelander strip mine here. I don't think I want Bowmaster. No. I guess I can get a Lurrus loop going. Perhaps. Like I could put Black Lotus into play. I get Lotus and I pull that to hand. And then any land allows me to redeploy my Lotus with the Lurrus. And then I can start looping Bowmasters. It's not the worst. I'm not happy about this. I'm not even sure what I'm getting here. I mean, Seal of Removal is pretty decent at dealing with Saga tokens. Do I do that? Seems so bad. Seems so underpowered here. I mean, I'm just kind of penciled into finding lands, right? I mean, the other option is that I can get a dig going. Ancestral. I'm going to be facing down a fairly significant army here and quickly. I'm going to have to gamble a bit, guys. The good news is they're going to have to tap their academy here if they want to continue along this trajectory. And they are. Okay. And we need them not to have anything here. Yep. So we're probably dead. It's so funny I drew Seal. Oh, I missed on land. Come on. Oh my God. Probably should have done that in their upkeep to strip them of a man off their academy potentially. All right, we're done. Yeah, a little bit of a disappointing loss there. Okay, guys, here we are in round 3. Don't know what we're playing against. The opponent does not have any results that I'm able to find. His hand is a little meh. We are on the draw too, but I do like having the force of will here. Dig through time's an easy pitch. We move that into days. They've kept their 7. All right. Well, let's play along here. No Lurrus reveal. 1. Okay, is this Raker? 2. Okay. Oh, white initiative. Okay. Very easy force of will here. Has to be the fetch, unfortunately. Days can turn on Fatal Push as well, of note. So this is what I was afraid of here. Now I have to use my days. What's interesting about this is it actually turns off their mana. And I can kill this at will. Well, that's not necessarily true, but can just move towards Lurrus here. Do I actually let this thing resolve? I think I do, you know. Just going to take a draw here. Really glad I did. Now, we're still contesting with a 3-3 here, but my days is live. Okay. I do think I am going to fetch here and turn off my Fatal Push. I mean, I guess I can keep my push on, but they did miss a land drop, and then we can Ancestral. Do I want another land? No. So we're looking for some creatures here. Oh, seal. That's a good one. And so is frog. I will not turn off my seal. And next turn, I can set up a time walk with my frog, hopefully. Okay, no need to do anything right this second. We can do it during our turn, no problem. And we will send that back now. It's a pretty nice draw, actually. That was decent. Not great draws, to be honest with you. I take that away. I guess we pull Lurrus now, right? I think that's fine. They're going to try and play this Clarion Conqueror, and hopefully they don't have another land. Okay. Excuse me. I beg your pardon, excuse me. Mental Misstep is typically not great in this matchup, but they do have Swords to Plowshares. I think the Taxian Probe just might be the odd man out here. I should let one of them get rid of a dig through time. Pretty hard to set that up. That's not the angle we're trying to take here. The games don't typically put ourselves in a position to be able to dig through time to win. Okay, this hand has some tools in it. I really like Brainstorm to be able to fix things up. As always, the inherent issue when you're playing on the draw against mono white initiative is the presence of Chancellor of the Annex. And then if we can dodge that, this hand is great. Looks like we did. Well, I shouldn't say it's great, but it's very serviceable. So is this something we want to stop here, guys? My gut is it is. It's very aggressive, but I think it's worth doing. So this is a situation where we need to start thinking about, do we want to be getting basics? I don't think it is. I think I am going to Undercity Sewer here. That's not really what I'm looking for. Psychic Frog, however, is. Do my time walk here, guys. Okay, did not get killed. They do have another land. Okay. Let's see what they name here. Okay. This is good for me, because this is going to allow me to set up a time walk. Do I brainstorm here? I really just like the cards in my hand, to be perfectly honest with you. And I do think I value I do value the cards in my graveyard here, so I do think it is worth just killing this straight up. Time walk. It's pretty good. Definitely going into the forge here. Seal was so good. What a draw. I mean, I'm quite interested in still. All these cards are very reasonable in my hand. That was a good draw. Do I just get a Force of Will here? No, Force of Will is terrible. Do I get a Snuff Out? I don't hate that. Yeah, I think I'm okay with this. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's funny, I can hear the theme song from a show that my youngest daughter likes, and it's like a Spanish dancing school type drama. And I always laugh when she watches it because, of course, their mouths are moving very differently than what is actually coming out of their mouth. They're speaking Spanish in the show, but of course, it's dubbed into English. And me personally, I cannot stand movies that do that. it, it irks me. I'd much rather watch it in the original language with a subtitle than having it dubbed. But my daughter just doesn't even phase her. I watched a lot of anime in my time, and that's where I first got into subs, like watching subtext. And I actually quite like watching movies with text. I find when you're reading on a show, it makes you that much more engrossed. You don't get distracted because you're focused solely on what they're saying and you're reading it. When you're reading it, excuse me. Okay, my opponent's having a really good look here. And of course, this is a little bit of a tough predicament for them because they can name stuff out and then I'll untap. And I mean, of course, I could just pay for it and still cast it or seal removal. Really easy one here. So I've got 3 solid pieces of removal. Unfortunately, the Fatal Bush is not currently turned on, but I don't think I'm going to have too much difficulty with that. Psychic Frog. Okay. I think this is an easy one. I'm just going to nuke that thing right now. And let's get into the trap here. Can I kill my opponent? No. I think I can brainstorm here. Misstep. I don't mind misstep, truth be told. I don't need this. And does the Wasteland actually do anything? Maybe I can just I'm going to be drawing these anyways momentarily, and I think that's okay. I don't have to get too hasty here, guys. I'm going into the archives here next turn, which is going to be good. And definitely casting Seal. Oh, I guess I'll peek here. I've already played a land. Cleric and Human. I don't currently have any counterspells, so I don't think it matters too much. Now, if they were able to deploy 2 spells against me, that might suck a little bit, but they are at 7 with 2 cards in hand. So this looks like a Dungeoneer, and that's okay. That is going to put them in the Forge. Yep. So I do not currently have the initiative. Scry 2, yeah, that makes sense. Two on the bottom, okay. In all honesty, I don't really feel like I need to do too much here. I guess 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I do have enough to kill them here with keeping the mental misstep. So yeah, I guess I'll get rid of this. And I'll fatal push them. It's fine. Ooh, that's a nice one. Okay. That's 7, right? Yep. Okay. Okay, guys, here we are in round 4. We are on the draw. I generically like this hand. No Lurrus reveal on an opponent's side. They have most recently been playing Sphere Shops. So this opener lets us have a turn 1 Psychic Frog. A Scrolling Crawler. How do I feel about that? I feel like it's probably okay. Maybe not, though. I don't know. Like, I could force this thing. Gonna let it resolve. I do think I get a basic swamp here. Now I have double force to get me through this turn here. Well, that was a good draw. Well, decent. I'm happy to have mana. Don't really want this thing in play. I'll deal with a sphere if it comes down. Like, I'll let the sphere resolve. Okay. Really don't want to use my force of will here. That's just like straight up last ditch that I do that. Oh, no, Rod. Oh, boy. I don't know that I can let Null Rod resolve. I mean, I can just pitch the Mox Jet and hope to find a land off the top. Okay. It's a little awkward I didn't find a land here, but I'm going to attack in. They're going to attack me back, right? They're going to deal me a damage. Bad draw for me, that's for sure. All right, well, we're taking a bit of damage here. Okay, that's good. We found a blue source. It's a fair chunk of damage. It's adding up here. Double workshop, geez, I don't really like that. So I can kill a snake very easily here. The problem is I'm dealing with this friggin' thing here. I guess I'm just in a position where I have to force this. Not thrilled about it. Well, we kind of need to turn this thing on here. I'm starting to get close to dying. If I tap this out, I guess I can play this now. And then they kill it, and then I can fatal push them. I mean, that's going to be very difficult for them to resist. Okay, I did get punished for that line. Anyways, they're let's see. It's pretty scary here, but they are doing it. Okay, good. Not optimal, guys, but it did work. We took an extra damage doing it that way, but they did do it. So sphere, I think that's fine. I mean, I can't do anything about it, but hopefully they don't have anything else here. Definitely going to move this. I'm going to get a basic island here. Okay, so we're definitely discarding that. And I do think we're going to cruise here, right? 9 in our yard and just keep a basic. Yeah. There we go. This thing does close pretty quick. I feel like days is not very good here, but if they tap that ancient tomb down, could be. I guess the question is, how fast do I want to close this out? I like this because it turns the push on. How aggressive do I need to be here? Probably reasonably, right? It's a 3-turn clock. Okay, here we go. Gonna get this going. Could pull Lurrus here, but I don't think it's necessary. Just going to kill my opponent here very easily next turn. Like Golos would be their straight up best draw here. But that doesn't, I guess, stop my frog from flying. Okay, nice win for us there. Okay, we're playing against Sphere Shops. Interesting. Highly probable that they are playing with Patchwork Automatons, making Long Goodbye pretty good. Cuts here. Days definitely can go. Do you like Mindbreak Trap on the draw? Flusterstorm is poor. I think Mental Misstep is likely not to be very good here. So the interesting thing, okay, what else do we want to cut here? In truth, I like almost everything we have. So disposable cards, I think, I mean, it's a matter of whether my opponent has kept no rods in against me or not. Spellbomb is decent because it turns off Crucible, but I don't know that that's a fight that we're looking to do here. One Shanti is not very good, likely. Golos does search, but outside of that, not very good. Time Twister, maybe not so good in this matchup. Maybe I could see cutting that. I think this is reasonable. A little bit sketchy with no land here. I am on the draw. Is this something I can keep? I don't think so. I just don't think this is good enough against shops. I have to get lucky. Like Bowmasters isn't great against shops. Yes, I can stop perhaps their first sphere, which is not nothing. No, I got to be disciplined here. This is definitely better. Double Force, probably. Do I put away a Bowmaster? I think so. I know the Scrawling Crawler is helping me get out of this situation, but it's just going to be too much damage given the way my hand is set. Had I kept the Bowmaster, I think I would handle it differently. Okay, they're hellbent. Don't hate the Lauren revealed here. I need help. Demonic Tutor. Yeah. Worst case scenario, I can brainstorm it away. Could get a Force of Will, but I just feel like I need to get Ancestral here and try and get ahead on resources. And yes, I could get punished for that, but hopefully not. Scrolling Crawler would be the worst thing they could do to me here. Okay, Dig's pretty good too, but they do have Psychic Frog covered. But I'm going to put it into play, I think, and I can dig through time if I need to. For a Force. Yeah, I think, well, I was going to say I could do Lurrus here, funny enough, but, well, I can do Lurrus now. They have a Dismember here. They can get my Lurrus. Okay. Yeah, great draw. Let's keep some cards on the yard here. So they have my land for sure covered. I think I'm going to do another Psychic Frog, and I don't know. Not much is going to resolve past me here. I think I'll just take another negation. This should close things out pretty quickly. I don't feel like I need to play the land. I'll just brainstorm. Okay, they are officially dead next turn, so there's nothing they can do. Yep, very easy. Okay. Okay, guys, here we are. Round 5. Quite possibly a mirror that we are playing. And I like our hand. Oh. I do think I'm going to get an Undercity Sewers here. Do I want another Bowmaster? I do like it, but I feel like I need land. So they probably have a swords here. And we might be hard pressed to fight over this here. They could have a Spell Pierce here, which is a bit rough. So I think I actually am going to fight over this. I've changed my mind. Because if they have the Pierce, I can daze it. And if they have a Force of Will, I think it's okay. And this sets us up to be able to have a good turn next turn where we get some value off of the frog. Let's take a peek at what we're playing with here. Let's get in. Very likely to play their own Psychic Frog here. Bowmaster, interesting. Okay, I don't like that line from them. Well, I can double fly here, and I do think I'm going to do it. What's going on here? Jesus. Jumping all over the place on me here. Oh, I wish I hadn't done that. It skipped through here on me. That's okay. Yep. All right. So they're going to have their frog. Or they could do another Bowmaster. That's fine. They can have their damage. They don't want to flash on their bowmaster. I think it's completely fine. I don't mind this. I guess the question is, do I want to make saga tokens or do I want to start wastelanding them? I realize they're getting some damage in here, but I think it's okay. Hmm, not bad. So they are going to get a solid hit through here. I can cast a Bowmaster to slow it down if I'm not interested in a Saga token. But these Saga tokens are relevant. I mean, I could take a hit from that thing, right? I think so. Yeah, good. I'm glad they conceded there. Just I'm quite a bit behind on time here, 4 minutes. So yeah, but that worked out pretty nicely. Okay. I just want a proactive spell bomb. Time Twister. I'm never really been a big fan of Time Twister in mirrors. Maybe negation's just better than days on the draw. I think this is fine. I beg your pardon, excuse me. So I don't have any creatures in this hand. Vexing Bauble, Spell Pierce could screw me up, but I think it's fine because I have a Lorn revealed here. Hopefully I don't have to pitch. The hand is somewhat fragile, but it has some really good pieces to it. They did mulligan here, which is helpful. So I am coming off of force here, but I'm going to go get an island. Yeah, I need an island here. It's not ideal, but hopefully we can dig ourselves out of this.
Shuffles their library. Interesting. Oh, I don't like that. Oh, they have the misstep. That's nasty. And they have a wasteland here. Great draw. Yeah, I'm going to take the Rizasagi here. So that was off the top. They will be able to thought seize me here next turn. So hopefully I find, this is fine. Hopefully I find a blue card here or a wasteland. So we did. So I'm going to Ancestral myself. It's a fairly steep price, but I just have to do it to progress my game plan here. Yeah, I mean, just is what it is. We missed on land, but our mana base is fairly stable. My graveyard is gone. They found another land. Thoughtseize incoming. They may just take long goodbye here. Yeah, they didn't want me to have the... That makes sense. My stuff is gone. So is their spell bomb. They still have a wasteland in hand here. So I guess let's wasteland their white source. Don't hate it. Oh, another one. Jeez. Okay. Lurrus. Oh, I do like that. No problem for them. Geez, they just are ripping lands like a champ. Yep. I don't mind the force here because if I find a blue card, I can set up my Lurrus to protect it, which is really powerful here. I got a lot of lands, I guess. I mean, do I do it? I think so. Can't get any value right now, but next turn I can. So they have the swords. I mean, it's a pretty big blowout if they have the Pierce here, but yep. You're going to redraw. All right. Hopefully I find a black source here. I do. I just really want to take away the ability for them to do any delving. And if they wasteland me here, of course, I will Bowmaster in response. Doesn't matter. We can just be proactive with it. Doesn't matter. Let's just F6. Yeah. Okay. Nice win for us, guys. Giving ourselves an opportunity for a win and in here. I guess depending on how our breakers are, we can still lose and maybe get in. I didn't really pay attention to where we were sitting. Okay, guys, here we are in round 6. We're playing for a win and in to top 8 here. We won the die roll against Munchlax, who is a dredge player. This hand is definitely awkward against dredge. I have a wasteland, off-colored Moxen. Neither of these cards are going to be good, and Fatal Push is really bad, and I can't cast Bowmaster. I have to mulligan. I do like this one, though. Do I put away a fetch land here? I can cast a turn 1 frog. My opponent has kept 7. So let's take a peek and see what we're up against here. It is dredge. Okay. So they have a force of will here, which is really quite challenging for me to be able to combat. Okay. Not ideal. So yeah, we're in pretty rough shape. That was a really good and I'm really wanting to fetch because I don't want a mind break trap, but I just don't have the luxury of doing that, unfortunately. I have to get my saga going here and just hope that they don't have anything going. Yeah, we're not going to be able to get out of this one, unfortunately. They had a really strong 7 with the force of will there, and if they didn't have the force of will, I think this is different. Yeah, we're dead. All right. Well, that was a beating. So hopefully we can put up a little bit more of a fight here. Well, more than put up a fight. Two answers straight up to hollow one. I guess consign if you count that. I don't think that I want snuff out on the play. One Shitong is pretty weak too here, but all right. Yeah, this is much better. A little frustrating. My opponent is able to keep sevens here both games. Let's see what they got. So they do have force of will and they do have misstep. And they have noxious too. Jeez. Thug. Feeling a little ugly about this here, but it just is the world we're living in. Well, Lotus would have been nice there. Have to pray the other two cards they drew were not blue. The good news is, I don't know if we want to call it good news, but we are crawling closer towards being able to get Lurrus into play if our Nihil Spellbomb does get countered. It might be too late by then, unfortunately. I honestly don't know that Wastelanding does anything here for me. Well, I guess let's see what happens here. Spell Pierce was actually shockingly good here. All right. They did not force a will this time. I still have to contest with this I am going to end up having to fight over this, so I think it's worth it. Using the Lotus here, and I can bring Wan Shi Tong in as a blocker if I need to. You get a Noxious. Where is really awkward here. They do let it in. Okay. 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, I mean, I'm going to do it. Well, I guess this takes me off Pierce, though. But I can do it in response. I just don't get to draw a card. That's all. It does suck if they have the Force here, but they didn't. But I did not find a land either. Okay. Okay. We are going to need some help. Land? Oh, good draw. They did find the Icarid there. Trying to mitigate damage here as much as we can. Land? Bowmaster, okay. Well, if they bring the Icarid in, I can get it with Orcish Bowmasters. They actually don't currently have any dredgers either. I think there could be a Force of Will incoming here. I don't know how much they've been sandbagging it, but okay, that is definitely helpful. Do I pull Lurrus to hand here? They do have the Icarid incoming. I've got chump blockers for a couple turns, yeah. It's maybe slightly greedy, especially if they have a Grief in hand, but sorry for the lack of commentary, guys. This is really tight. Now my opponent is going to drop a Dredger here, or they're going to feed their Icarid, one or the other. Saga was a really good draw here. A really good draw. Let's see if we can get it in. I feel like I just nuked their yard here. And yes, I know they have the Noxious Revival here. But if we're going to get in a fight with that, then that means that they're not going to be discarding manually. And hopefully it's enough for me. My opponent is a good dredge player for sure. I mean, I could take the hit from the Icarid. I'm going to chump block with my Bowmaster here, assuredly. I'm moving very close towards Grafdigger's Cage. Okay, so here is the Noxious Revival on the Bazaar of Baghdad. I think that there's a very good chance that they have Force of Will here, but we're going to go ahead here and try and stop this. Here we go. Obviously disappointing if they've ripped a Bazaar here, but I mean, okay. Okay, guys. Let's hope our opponent mulligans here several times. Looks like they are down to 6. Okay, that's good. We're going to mulligan as well. We have to go down as well, unfortunately. Much better. So Demonic Tutor into Cage. Wasteland. So I guess it's Bowmaster's odd man out here. Yeah. Okay, they're down to 3. Let's keep it going here. 2. And 1. Okay. They did find the bazaar, interestingly enough. I'm just going to get a graph digger's cage, right? Okay. All right, guys. We're going to be off to the top 8 here. We were pretty low on breakers. I just have the worst luck on tiebreakers, typically. We ended up in 10th place going into this round, and our win percentage was the second highest out of the top 8. But tiebreaker's not so good, but we did end up getting there, and certainly would not have had we lost. So feels good. Let's see what we can do. Okay, guys, here we are in the quarterfinals, round 7, and I believe we are unfortunately on the draw against Mono White Initiative, is my guess, but we will see. Oh, Lurrus. Okay, my hand is so-so. I guess it depends on what type of Lurrus we're playing against. I don't really have anything for creatures, but I can't really in good conscience mulligan this. We are on the draw, and if it is combo, our hand becomes quite good. The Ponder cannot counter Ponder, unfortunately. Oh, black. Is it Thoughtseize or Dark Ritual? God, I'd love this as a Dark Ritual. Okay. Yep. I do think we counter this. Main deck Mindbreak Trap is pretty solid. Like that's like pretty much the worst draw we could have. Oh, come on, bro. Pretty good. Ancestral Recall cannot stop it. There's no point in playing coy here. They're just going to crack it off, and I get it. Yeah. I just need to worry about me here. I don't mind Wasteland, I suppose. Oh, that was a pretty brutal sequence of that Gataxian probe into Vampiric Tutor and having exactly a land to be able to play the Ancestral. Yep. Decent. I think that they're going to go for their Undercity Sewers here. And I'm going to flash this in right now. Bowmasters was a good draw. I guess I could have waited. Yeah, Frog was definitely a card I did not want to see here. But I do have 4 main deck removal spells. And I'm just hitting really low here. Okay. Here we go. I've drawn a lot of land this game. I mean, I do have 18 of them, but kind of getting a little bit of the wrong side of my deck here. Just too many of the mana base here. Okay, that's good news for me. I could point it at their frog, but I think I pointed at them. Okay. Interesting. They are. Oh, wow. Okay, they've got the Doomsday here. Yeah, that does work. Okay. That's unfortunate. They were able to scrabble that together. So, like, just really the exact amount of cards, right? Now they gush and they just beat me. They have to be very careful here. Yeah, I think they get me right at 1 life. Nice. I mean, they have to execute. Oh, they have main deck unable to scream. Interesting. Yep. All right. All right. A little bit unfortunate. I do like some number of removal against this deck. I don't think Null Rod is what I'm looking to do. I don't mind Seal, because Seal is very good against Unable to Scream. I think I can get rid of a Swamp. I have to cut 2 cards. Don't think. I mean, Time Twister is good if they've Doomsdayed. I do think I want my removal. Definitely want my consigns. I want to have something to stop them. All right. Let's try this, guys. Bit awkward. Misstep cheese, okay. We're looking for land. There it is. Okay, this is going to be a frog. Okay. Interesting. Long goodbye. I think I am going to time walk here, guys. Okay, here you go. This could gut my hand here pretty good, but let's see. One. I don't like seeing that. They didn't have a ton of counter magic, like things like Flusters and Pierces from what I saw there. So they've got the Lotus here. I feel like I fight over this. They just let him go. All right. Do I just play a 2/2 1/1 Tanshi? I think they're probably going to have removal here, but that's okay. I do have a mind break trap if I need it. Obviously, I'm not keen to do that, but they want to counter here. Now they have to get rid of their pedal, and hopefully we can find a blue spell here. That is not a blue spell. So they are going to have a green light here, unfortunately. Want that on top, and then we can start doing Lurrus goodness here. If it's an unable to scream, I can live with that. We still get to attack for 1. And of course, we have to survive the turn. Okay, this is very good. We're going to have a force online here because Wan Shanti. They've got 3 cards in hand, guys. I just feel like we have to try and do this. I feel like I smell weakness here. Okay, good. Nice to have the baubles going. That will be the end of... oh, that's not bad either. Because that protects me from unable to scream. Yeah. Okay. Could misstep it. I don't know that I would come off long goodbye here if I didn't have the fatal push in hand. Okay. And this also protects my Lurrus. That's a good one. I highly doubt they have bowmasters, but I am somewhat reluctant to cast into a bowmaster here. Okay. No, I should have done it there. I guess no need. Force of will. course, I've got removal out the yin yang here, so I think the Bowmaster's fine. Or excuse me, Brainstorm here. Nazis? Okay, now I will. I do like that. So this will kill them next turn. Okay. Okay. Okay, guys. See if we can get this one. Wish we could keep it. Wastelands could be quite good against them. We've got a Force, and we've got probably our best card in Bowmaster. Pretty solid Thoughtseize there. Oh, Brainstorm, interesting. Well, let's put them to the test on mana here. Wasteland traditionally is quite good against Doomsday. No mana for them, so that is fantastic for us. If we can get them to miss here, we're pretty good shape, I would think. Get our Undercity Sewers. Yeah, I like Misstep. They know the Bowmaster's coming. We'll do it on their upkeep. I would anticipate a Force of Will here. And I'm probably going to fight over it. Let's hope they miss. That manual discard, oh boy. That was a really good draw for us. Just great. I think I'm going to give up the damage here and just do it once again on their turn. I think they will force this one. They did not. Okay. Perfect. Literally perfect. Another discard. And I do think we just get a Black Lotus here. It will be very difficult for us to lose from here. Okay, off to the semis here. Okay, guys, here we are in round 8, and we are on the draw. I don't understand the seeding on Magic Online. It's so weird, you know. Like this player we're playing against here is the first seed. We are the third seed left. And I feel like I should be playing the second seed, and my opponent should be playing the fourth seed. And that's how it worked preceding rounds. But anyways, oops. Okay, so we've got dueling Lurruses here. I think my hand is good. I'm going to keep it. We are on the draw. My mana base is a tiny bit awkward here. Brainstorm. Oh, they're looking for land. Well, let's see if they lock themselves. I don't think this is where we pick our fight. So they did find it. Force of will, huh? I suspect they're going to fetch that away. My mana base is quite awkward here, guys. But I think it's fine. I'll keep that on top. So I got double force here. They're fetching in their upkeep. Okay, I'm glad the force is gone. That is not a Bowmaster. So we're playing against Esper. They do have the Wasteland. Yep. And let's hope their mana base is fragile here. Like, I sensed it was weak when they did the Brainstorm off of the Mox, but of course I could be completely wrong with that. And take a peek here. If they got Bowmaster, it's a bit of a bummer, but probably should have played a land here. It is a Bowmaster by the looks of it. So a little bit sloppy from me. And they do have the Bowmaster. How much do I care about it? I don't think I care that much. Okay, well, I've got mana for days. Let's get rid of that while we can. And here we go. So if we can find a blue source, they do not have white mana here, and we can get our frog into play. Lurrus, okay. Wasteland proof, I like that. Now, the spell pierce is a bit of a problem here if they find a white source. Oof. They can spell pierce me for days here, and they do have Lurrus in hand. Yuck. So what happens here? I can technically win this battle here. Yeah, they're going to get my frog here, but it's going to cost me my swords is gone. Then they're going to pierce, and then we're going to do this again. Now they're down to one miscellaneous card in hand. So I am facing down a 2/2 here as we stand. One unknown card. Think I treasure cruise, guys. Okay. Here we go. Yep. Not playing around anything here. Nice. I'm going to do it right now. A bit laggy here. I think I'll take their white source here. Nice. It's pretty good for them. It's going to trigger my Bullmaster, but this gives me an opportunity to draw a land to play Lurrus and Psychic Frog next turn. They have one unknown card in hand. I'm not really crazy to play a blind Lurrus out, but I just feel like I have to. Like they've gone through a couple swords already. Two. Like the upside is very high. If it works. Ooh, they did get the swords. I cannot stop it. I mean, it's a desperation act, but it's a good one. Okay. Blue card. They are running out of time here. Oh, what a draw. Okay, I do have a force here. That does stop me. Ooh, that's really good. So they are playing Esper. Okay, guys. Sorry, I'm a little bit laggy for some reason and just decided to pause the video while I was moving my cards back and forth. But yeah, we are going to employ the same plan we played earlier in the pseudo mirror, where we took out the trap and the three negations, and we brought in two Longbys, a momentum breaker, and the extra Nihil spell bomb. I think we're pretty well set up for this match. So yeah, let's see if we can get this one here. So I get the potential at a redraw here. I've got some of my best removal, but my mana is not great. I think I'm going to gamble and try it, guys. It's a little loose, but being on the draw makes this definitely more viable. Let's take a peek and see what they're doing here. Obviously, I'm really hoping this Gataxian Probe works because I need the card draw to find a land. But it is tempting to counter it. And they look like they are going to. So they're hiding a couple cards here. So they do have another island and ability to find land here. I am somewhat nervous about wastelanding here, given that my own difficulties around finding mana. They were going to put Lavinia into play here, and I think that's okay. Here we go. Okay, that is a really big help. It's not the I could use Longaby here. I think that's totally fine not to do that. I'm going to try and slow them down a little bit here. Because we drew the extra land, it really helps us a lot. And we are building up towards Cruise. They do not currently have Wastelands. And if they do have the ability to cast the Psychic Frog right now, then we have long goodbye for it. Yep. Presuming it's a, well, maybe a black source. They do have a swords in their hand. I know 3 other 4 cards. 4 other 5. They went for the frog. Saga, okay. The thing with the Saga is it really does commit them to, like, they've got the black source there. I think I'm going to get a frog going here. It's not perfect, but like when you play the Saga there, it commits you to making tokens. And I don't know that that's really what they wanted to do in this situation. I mean, like, It's not bad. Let's see what they do. They do have a bowmaster here too. I'd really like the ability to use my spell bomb here to take their ability to delve away. And would also love to draw Wasteland off my frog. Okay, they are making a Saga token. So I do have 2 pieces of removal in my hand here. I think what I'm going to do is just kill that thing. See what I draw. Unfortunately, I did not actually draw. I mean, they can swords me here. I want to hold up Spell Pierce. Like, if they make a construct here, that's so good for me. And they're not going to do that, but I think they're going to get a white source and proactively swords me. Oh, wow, Lotus. Bowmaster. Okay. Well, I'll let that one resolve. Yep. Okay. Time Twister. Well, I can't let that resolve. They have 2 cards in hand off the Twister here. Not thrilled about what happened here, but should be okay. So they're going to have to frog the next turn. I can kill this Bowmaster here. Like, do I care about the Bowmaster? Like, I've got a couple cards to draw. I think so. Let's just get rid of it and get going on things. Well, I can Ancestral myself here, but I feel like I'm just going to Spell Bomb them. Ooh, that's a good draw. I can't play it. Damn. It's okay. I mean, I had to draw anyways off that, but they play a frog here. I'm not that worried about it. Okay, that I'm happy with. I mean, I'm just going to be proactive here. Seal looking strong here. Oh, they did get an answer. Sure. I do like that force of will. Going to be proactive here, guys. And then we can set up a twist kill, maybe. Okay. All right. If they brick here, I'm feeling very confident. Yeah. Okay. Nice win there for us. We were in control that entire time. And we're about to deal a ferocious amount of damage off of the twister between the two bowmasters. Okay, guys. Well, let's see if we can take this thing down. Okay, guys. Here we are in the finals. We are on the draw. So we've been on the draw all top 8. I was the 5th seed. And so had any of the other guys ended up in the finals, I would have been on the play. Like the 6, 7, and 8 seed. But did not pan out that way. I just played the top seed last round, and we're playing the second seed, top seed, second place seed here now in the finals. So no Lurrus revealed. This player has a history of playing Jewel and Doomsday, and I like this hand against both of those. Obviously a lot better when you're on the play, but oh, interesting. Okay. Weird sequencing there. Love a force of will here. Don't think it matters too much here. I'll protect the land just in case. Almost assuredly we're playing against Jewel. Fatal Push was a pretty bad draw, but this is a ring. Oh, Tinker. What's better here? Probably Flusterstorm, right? They can pay for the one, but they'd have to force the second one, and we do have another force to back it up. Flusterstorm doesn't typically have great applications against Jewel, so we're going to use it here where we have the ability to do so. The fact they sacrifice their Mox Ruby means possibly we can get better value out of our Spell Pierce. And if they force a will here, so be it. Oh, they might. They are. Okay, well, I hope they do not have a second force of will. Okay. Love to find another Spell Pierce or force of some sort. Don't mind Bowmasters. I'm going to Ancestral myself here first and take a look at what I can find. Perfect. Guess we'll get our Saga going here just in case. Maybe that's not the optimal play, but is this a Jewel? Seems like it. Wasteland? Okay. What's interesting is I might let a Jewel resolve now if they have another one. I mean, I can't do anything about it anyways, but I am going to utilize my Saga tokens here. Try and close this game out, and then I will hold up Orcish Bowmaster. Wonder if I get a Black Lotus here. I think it's fine not to play Bowmaster here and just get the static Moxen. And probably get a Sapphire so I can, if I have to use Spell Pierce, I'm able to get Undercity Sewers. That's probably the most efficient use of this. I think my opponent might be double queued here. They're really taking a long time between plays. Key? Sure. Hmm. I have to be honest. I um, hmm. I don't think they have Ancestral here. I think I'm just going to flash my Bowmaster. I'm not going to get greedy. Well, it is kind of greedy to flash it, but let's just try and kill my opponent here. They have Ancestral. It's a bummer. Which, of course, I know they don't have that, but okay. No need to do anything. I could go. I guess I could look for a Wasteland here. I think that's probably worth it. I'm going to change my play here. Ooh, they did get me here. Guess I got punished for that, didn't I? Once again, no need to do anything here. If they're gonna metamorph me, that's fine. Okay. Well, that was good. So Daze is not great on the draw. I also have a swamp I very easily could take out. Is it just better to have the blue card to pitch here? Like, I'm really wanting to get my null rods going, but perhaps I can bring in just something like a Fatal Push to deal with a Worm Coil token or something. Or if they copy one of my creatures with a Metamorph. Okay. I'm glad I mulliganed that. I'm not going to lie. I contemplated it. No key, please. Okay. They don't hate that. Hopefully they don't have a force of will here. And they do. Probably could have kept the other force of will and ditched the frog there, to be perfectly honest with you. I think that was a mistake. Hopefully it doesn't end up being a costly one. Okay. Force of will, a land of any type would be good. That one was not so good. Yeah, I really wish I kept that force of will now. All right. A little bit awkward here, but if they make me use it, yeah. So the only thing I'm somewhat concerned with here would be if they have another worm coil and they're able to get it into play. It could cause me problems, but I feel like we're kind of penciled into this line here. Well, we're not, but I could have countered it. No rod? Look, if it's a masticore, no problem. If it's a worm coil that they're able to get it out, that's pretty bad for me. And if they tap out for a ring here with their current mana situation, my spell pierce can get them. Oof. What do I feel about this? If they have a ring, it's pretty bad for me. But I feel like if they had a ring, I guess no, they're just untapping here. But if they have a ring, they can play around me anyway. So I'm going to make them pay here. And hopefully it's just a masticore that they have in hand. Okay. As I say, if it's a ring, I can't stop it anyways. And we just have to hope. And it is. Oh, metamorph. Oh, well, I can deal with that. Oh, that's so good for me. All right, that's what I've got. This is lethal. Okay, we got there, guys. Okay, nice win for us on the precipice of the RCQ tomorrow. And I don't know if anybody's going to have a chance to watch this or if I'm even going to be able to get it up tonight. It's a 3.5 hour plus video. But yeah, this deck is obviously very good against the metagame in general. We played a couple of Dredge, we beat Might Initiative, we played Raker, we played Jewel. So we did see a good slice of the metagame. We played against Lurrus Doomsday. So game against everything. I think this deck, one of the decks it has the most trouble with, in my opinion, is White Initiative, and especially when you lose the die roll. Like, we were on the draw this entire top 8, and we were able to find our way through it. We ended up beating, well, I can't even remember what we played against. That we played against Esper, Lurrus Control, we played against Jewel, and what did we play in round 1? That was the Lurrus Doomsday in the quarters. But yeah, guys, deck functions pretty nicely, I would say. So let's do a quick debrief here. Is there anything that we liked or did not like in this list today of the cards that we put in? So Mind Bait Trap, I have to go back and look at the video, but I feel like it was key in at least one situation. It was a backbreaking spell, and I believe there were a couple times we were able to use it to great effect. I just did a world of Raker and Mono White Initiative. PO, Doomsday, you usually can find a target for it. It's pretty good. It pitches. I do like it, but obviously it's a flex spot. There's decks where you draw it, and, you know, you're playing in a mirror or whatever, and it's not very good. Or you're playing against Dredge, it's not very good. But Spell Bomb, always just very good. My mana base obviously is not even debatable. I'm telling you guys, you saw seal removal in the semis there. I mean, I played it multiple times today, but it is a good card. It's just a really solid tempo card. It pitches, and if you have to recast, keep recasting your Psychic Frog or your Hollow One or your Masticore, it is not optimal. And once you get the loop going with Lurrus, it protects your own creatures, and just a really good card. And as I said in the intro, if you watched it, it is really good against Unable to Scream, because sometimes just untangling your creature can be enough to take over a game. Wan Shi Tong was okay today. It drew me a couple cards. I really only had it a few times, and I thought it was all right. Like, it drew me into that Cataxian Probe, so I was able to force a will against Doomsday. Like, it's a good card. I don't know if it's better than Snapcaster. I think the verdict is still out on that, but I did like it today, and probably will consider keeping it tomorrow. And yeah, Flusterstorm, Spell Pierce, probably want to be playing 3 Pierce tomorrow because of Raker and, White Initiative. There's going to be a lot of White Initiative in the field tomorrow. So I think that's probably just a strict upgrade. And yeah, that's all I really have to say about the main sideboard. Everything was good for me. Snuff Out, I think, is the one questionable card, but I just think it's a necessary evil against White Initiative, so I would not recommend taking it out. And otherwise, everything is relatively stock from here, guys. But yeah, I do appreciate you hanging out with me on this long journey, guys. And if you haven't done so already, I do appreciate you if you will like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, we'll see you tomorrow.